Welcome back to a sweltering new episode of $1,000 Car Guy. As you can probably hear from all the bugs, it is super humid outside right now, but that's not going to stop us because we just picked up a sweet deal. The focus of today's episode is going to be on the Miata. Now, there's a few things that we are trying to work on right now, and what could potentially be its own episode, or depending on how motivated we are, it's going to happen today. Something pretty cool happened a couple days ago. As you guys know, my dash is kind of non-existent. I have the bash bar, and then there's the old dash sitting outside. And for any of you that don't know, I was an idiot, and when I removed my old dash, I just obliterated it. I just cracked it and destroyed it everywhere. And although it kind of sits in the car, it doesn't work the way it's supposed to. I do sort of still have a shroud. Sort of. So I've been looking for a new dash for quite some time now, and I ended up finding one really close to the house. It was only like 11 miles away, which was awesome. What else is awesome? He only wanted 20 bucks for it. So it's a two-tone, obviously, but it's not really cracked along the top. It does have the passenger side airbag blown. We'll get into that in just a second. But what is also neat is while I was there picking this up for 20 bucks, he sold me a full set of rims for 25 bucks. So I'm starting to think that these are not actually Miata rims, which is a bummer, but it's okay. They are for a Miata, so they do fit a Miata. Are 185/60 R14s compared to the 205/50 R16s that I have on here. So the new ones are already 2 inches smaller in diameter than the old rims and tires. Let me stack one in front of it so you can see the difference. Something I do like about these, they are super light. I've also got a bit of a tread difference, but you can tell that they're a little bit shorter. Now, the previous owner of these told me that he had a massive blowout, which he definitely did. This bottom tire, you can see the cords looking right through there, so he blew out his sidewall, which is very unfortunate for him, but very fortunate for me. So maybe 2 of these are good enough to put on here for the time being, just to move it around, but the idea is that we've got a couple extra spares when we need them. So for 45 bucks, we ended up with a new dash and some new rims, which is a pretty good deal for me. So the current goal of this episode is to try and remove the extra assembly that's back here. I don't think it'll be too difficult, so that hopefully that flap can kind of get closed, and maybe we can put a big sticker over it, or maybe we can sew it shut and then try and get it inside the car. I think this may be from a newer model, so hopefully, I mean, it looks like all the bolt-on locations are still in the same spot, so hopefully the dashes just kind of swap in. So let's get started. So it looks like on the passenger airbag. If I remove all these, hopefully it will come off, and then we can remove the ones that are on the inside in there. That's the plan anyway. And there you have it. Yikes. Did you see that? There's a frog in here. Alright, let's see. The next thing we need to do is disconnect the gauge cluster. And then I've got 2 grounds down here that I don't think are actually working anyway. So let's go ahead and get that out, unbolt this, and pull the old bash bar out. And it's as simple as that. So, how's it look? Much better? Two-tone? Yeah, I don't know. It's a dash. 20 bucks, I'm good with it. So, I didn't quite get all the bolts back in. On the passenger side, the one at the top there, you know, that goes right in here, I think when the airbag went off, it may have twerked the dash a little bit, because it's like about this far away from getting in the hole, and I don't have a come along to like pull it while I just try and get that one bolt in. But I don't know, we got 3 out of the 4 on the sides, so that should be good. And then we got the ones down there, so we're good with that. I don't know, I think it looks better. I feel better driving with that than that metal bar with all the spikes coming out of it. So I had 99% of another episode done, which you saw in the beginning. And the whole point was that the Miata was running on 3 cylinders. So when glancing at it, the number 4 spark plug boot was sticking up out of the valve cover like a good 1/4 of an inch at least. And after some trial and error and destroying this NGK spark plug wire, which was a big mistake on my part, I kind of just sent the spark plug down. I was wondering, like, could there possibly be more crush washers or something in there? So I just hammered it home. When I went to pull the spark plug back out, it was really hard to do. I pulled it out, and this is what we found. Can you see the 4 or 5 crush washers that are on that spark plug? Yeah, they're not supposed to be there, so that's why the boot wasn't sealing all the way against the valve cover. And I possibly may have stripped out the threads inside the head of the engine, but we're kind of beyond the point of caring with this thing. So what I'm going to go do is see if I can buy just one spark plug, because the other ones look fine. This is a beater car, that's why I don't really want to replace all 4. And although I wish I could just buy one spark plug wire for the number 4, I don't think they're going to let me do that either. So let's head off to the store and see what we can find. I'll be right back. I went down to my local AutoZone and got a new plug wire along with one new plug. Crikey! So my plan is not going to work. My tripod just broke. Well, that sucks. Okay, so a few minutes later, I feel really dumb now. This is the brand new junk autometer spark plug that I bought at the store. This is the one that I pulled out of the Miata. As you can see, it's a bit cleaned up now. And you're probably thinking like, wow, the one on the right looks a lot larger in diameter than the one on the left. Because it is. You see these knurls at the top? This is what's called a helicoil. So, when I crammed this spark plug all the way down, I pulled back out with it the helicoil that someone has put into the car previously. So someone did the same thing. They stripped out all the threads in the original one and then put in a helicoil, which is fine. That's what, you know, that's a normal thing to do. And then I just pulled it back out. So 2 options. You could either buy a new helicoil kit, go ahead, retap it and insert the new kit and then the new spark plug, or cram this sucker home till it stops. Guess which option I'm going with. I was going to show you this elaborate way to make this new cheapo wire fit into the old boot and housing of the NGK one, but at this point I am so fed up with this thing, I just don't care. So all I'm going to do is stick the new plug wire from AutoZone. Well, I thought I would be. Must everything be difficult? So I think I got it on, but the only way to tell for sure is to plug the other end into the coil. To plug the other end into the coil and then start it up and see if it works. There goes a piece of skin I'm not getting back. So it seems to be running fine now, and my tripod is still broke, so I keep forgetting that. Oh, and look what the new dash did to me. Yeah. Thanks, new dash. Well, there you have it. A cheap, terrible fix. I wouldn't even call it a fix. I doubt that spark plug is 3 threads deep into that block. Anyway, that's for another day. Thanks for watching this terrible episode of $1,000 Car Guy. Stay tuned for more shenanigans and nonsense that doesn't help you at all in your current life. Thanks for watching. See you on the next episode. In case any of you were wondering what I ended up doing with this tripod, I screwed a hole in it and put one of the interior screws from the Miata in through both the leg and the receiver. You think I'm going to spend $10 on a new tripod?